Hello, folks. How's it going? This week, we are joined by my first Swiss long-term Airbnb host in Thailand. Nestled in the center part of the island Enda Lanta Bungalows in Ko Lanta was the highlight of my first few months in the south of Thailand. You can hear a lot of people talk about Koh Phangan, Koh Samui, Koh Tao, Koh Phi or Koh Lipe. These are quite popular islands where a lot of Europeans try to get wasted. But Koh Lanta is a chilled and laid-back island with amazing cafes and restaurants on the beach with a lovely atmosphere. It felt thousands of times better than the other islands for me because since I visited in the low season, the streets were relatively empty and I learned how to ride a motorbike. I got to experience Thai kindness and hospitality through the staff who were simply amazing, had a wonderful snorkeling experience, and saw baby sharks for the first time in my life. Felt very welcome with the community of expats living on the island. I also enjoyed the breathtaking beaches without too many tourists. I had the first and best personal trainer in my life for fitness and even had a chance to continue training Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. But that's just my personal experience. I'm biased. But I do think it's a beautiful island with really big, wide open, not busy beaches that have some pretty great bars and restaurants but tend not to draw the backpack crowd. So that's less partying, more younger couples and families. But the most important part for a lot of people who are there is that it serves as a hub for some of Thailand's best diving. So there are quite a few dive professionals working in the area. It's a good place to learn if you're interested in that. The main reason I loved this place was because the staff at Enda and my delightful host Dani made the experience feel so natural. What's better is that we had a chance to talk about this island with Dani, who first visited the island 17 years ago and genuinely feels excited and delighted by the island still to this date. 17 years ago was a time when traveling to Thailand was not as mainstream as it is right now. She was an amazing host and accommodating conversationalist. Dani is one of the freest spirits I've ever met in my life. So, without any further ado, please enjoy our conversation with Dani in Ko Lanta. Try it now.
Hello, my name is Dani.
Hello, Dani. Where are we right now?
At Enda Lanta Bungalows in Ko Lanta, Thailand.
In Thailand. It's a beautiful place.
It is.
Yeah. Would you say you were dreaming this kind of place when you were a little kid, maybe?
Yes.
Yeah?
Yes.
Yeah.
I came here 17 years ago, around, maybe already 20.
Oh, for the first time?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
To Ko Lanta for holiday.
What brought you? Oh, for holiday. What were your first impressions about the place?
The first impression, we came by boat from Phi Island.
Uh-huh.
And actually we didn't know anything about Lanta because Phi Island was fully booked, all the accommodations. So we just asked the owner from the place where we stayed, and we said we don't want to travel far because we need to go soon to Bangkok and back home.
Right.
So he said, yeah, there is an island nearby. I can book you a bungalow, blah, blah, blah. So, yeah, we just took this chance and we came here. And as soon as I walked out from the boat, put my feet in the sand, I know this is my home.
Wow. That fast, huh?
Yeah. It was like
it's more of a feeling?
Thunder through your body.
Oh, like electric shocks.
Yes.
Oh, boogie. Nice.
Yes.
I've not had that experience anywhere yet. I'm waiting for my electric shocks when I go somewhere. But maybe, having spent a lot of time here, having a business here, could you maybe think back at that time and say, maybe because it was not too crowded, maybe it was because it was unique in some way.
Could you tell me why the electric shocks happened, or it's just the feeling?
Just a feeling.
Just the feeling.
Feeling, yeah.
Nice.
I traveled a lot around the world, before and after, but my feeling until now is still the same.
I see.
Yeah. I don't know why. It was less developed than now, for sure, but actually not a lot changed in those years.
In terms of
we have more buildings. There is more
water, electricity, like infrastructure and stuff.
Yeah.
I see. Yeah. So you said you traveled a lot around the world. Mainly, well, I was going to ask if you'd traveled around Europe, but then now I have different questions. So tell me about some of the places that you remember the most.
So maybe I have to tell you first.
Okay.
When I was around 2022, I was working in an office in Zurich, and the company, they closed the office in Zurich and they moved it to the Netherlands, to Amsterdam. So everybody gets some money because after the movement, everybody was unemployed.
Oh, I see.
So I get quite big money, and what I did in the lunchtime, after the meeting with the boss in the morning, direct to the travel shop.
Nice.
No idea about where I want to go. So I met this guy in the travel shop, and he asked me, how can I help you? I say, I want to go traveling around the world. And
Very straightforward.
And he said, okay, well, I think we need to fix a date and you come back and we sit and da. So then I think around half year later,
Wow.
Was
it with tours, or did you just book a ticket? And
I just booked the tickets, the flight tickets, and the start was in India, in Delhi.
Nice.
Where I booked a tour for 3 weeks, but the first 3 days I was alone. So actually all my friends, family, people I knew from Switzerland, they all told me, you are crazy, you cannot go with your backpack alone, you have blonde hair, blue eyes, some countries may be a problem with men and this, and it's dangerous and everything, and I just laughed all the time, and they say, well, I will send you a nice postcard then. I was kind of the first person from all my friends and family and who did this, and then the plan was 1 year. To go around the world. In this time you could buy actually quite cheap flight tickets around the world. You could only fly in one direction. But then 1 year before I met my now ex-husband.
Got you.
But I still went on the trip, and
he came with you?
No, he didn't came with me, and I planned actually to travel this direction, to be in the end in Brazil for the carnival, which never happened until today. But I went back home after 9 months traveling around the world. And then some years later, I traveled with my ex-husband, also with the round the world ticket. Another 9 months. We traveled 3 months separate from this trip to South America. Yeah.
Wow, okay.
We traveled a lot in holidays too.
So it's more of
actually Europe, I have seen some places in Europe, but more like a holiday trip and go back, not traveling around.
Right. Like you don't get to...
I was always interested in different places. Since I was small kid, I think around 9 years old, I told my mom, I will never ever marry a Swiss man. I will never get old in Switzerland. And I was listening to music from the mountains. And my mom is actually, she was listening to AC/DC and stuff. And she always make this joke, which we still do today. She said, this cannot be my daughter. My mom never traveled. She never married.
Is it something around Swiss people? Is it kind of like America where they're like, like what are you gonna do? Like, this is the best place in the world anyway. Like, why would you want to travel even? Is this the perception?
I think because I didn't grow up with my mom and dad.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, I don't know my dad.
Mm-hmm.
I grew up with my auntie, uncle, and cousin,
Yeah.
which is also my family. I still call them mama, papa, and sister.
Yes.
So I have 2 mamas.
Mm-hmm. Nice.
I think because I never had this, I don't know the word in English, this
Like yearning, like want, desire,
the
or
feeling with the ground under my feet. When
I
you're
see.
born and
Security.
Yeah,
Like complacency.
yeah.
Like, okay, this is good. Like, I don't need more.
Yeah, I want always to be free because I didn't had this security since I was born, which is for me a very good thing, no?
Yeah.
It's not a complaint or something, but
Of
I
course.
always wanted to go and see the world and see more and yeah. Be
Well, that was
independent.
actually going to be my first question. What did you want to do, or what did you want to be? And they ask these questions to children. What do you want to be when you grow up? So you would say, I just want to travel the world.
See the world.
Nice.
Yeah.
Awesome. That's pretty special. I mean, I was in a similar kind of boat when I also grew up with my grandma. My parents were working in the big city, just making money and then visiting me every now and then. But when I was 7 years old, my parents were, okay, we're going to America. And then we just take our bags and I'm 7 years old,
Wow.
went to America. It was quite a big contrast from like a small little village-ish kind of place in, Turkey to like New York City, like Queens.
Wow.
It was like, whoa. It took me quite not too long to adapt. It was maybe 3 months, 2 months. I got the language because you're young and you're spongy, you get
Yeah.
everything. What's funny is it took me way longer to adapt back into Turkish society.
I can imagine.
Yeah.
When did you move back then?
I was 11, 12, like 11 and a half.
Teenager.
Yeah. Well, just beginning.
Yeah.
So there was a long period of, oh, why did we come back? Like blaming the parents' part. Now I'm kind of okay with that.
Yes.
But it was like a long period where I was like,
Oh, that's why you speak so good English.
I suppose, yeah. Learning
Because
really
Canon
young.
also asked me,
Uh-huh.
where is your accent from? How the people in Turkey, if all of them speak so good English like you or not? And I told him, I think he studied somewhere or something.
Yeah. Yeah, I studied in the source. No, it was good, but I think there's something unique about people who, either have a desire for travel or just have traveled in the past. The age-old question, who is more wise, the person who reads or person who travels. I don't know. What's your take?
No idea.
No?
I don't know. I think it's also because in general, I want to know everything. I have always questions.
Yeah.
I'm very,
Curious.
yeah. So I think it's coming also from this. I want to see how other religions, cultures, other countries, how they do. I think, yeah.
Yeah. That's where it comes from, yeah?
Yeah, I think so.
And how would you, since I think the most of your experience is around Asia in terms of like traveling and seeing the world, how do you think it compares to Europe and their way of looking at life, like their outlook?
Much better than the European
Yeah.
way of. I like especially here in Thailand, but I think, in many countries in Asia, is more we are living in the now. There is no past, there is no future, kind of. At least in the Buddhism is like this,
Right.
which I think many European people could cut a piece of this cake and
Yes.
and live like this. And also my English, the way of life, like, never mind, it's okay, it will be fine. Yeah.
It's more relaxed is not the right way to put it, right?
It's more relaxed. Yeah.
But perhaps
Yeah.
at peace with what could be, what was, and what is.
Yes, and I also think because many people, not everybody, but many people, they live from day to day also with their money. Example. So comparing to Europe, where you have your salary, where everything is fixed. If you need a doctor, it will be paid by government. It's solved. Everything is solved around, at least in Switzerland.
Right.
I mean, everything is solved. Even if I would go back now, I can go to the government and say, I'm back, I have no more money.
Yeah.
They have to take care of me.
Yeah.
So here in Asia is kind of opposite. Actually, there is no social system which really 100% take care of
Right.
the people. So they learn from the beginning. They need to take care of themselves, run their life, and just see step by step how is it going.
Yeah, it's not for everybody, but I heard from this one personality I follow on YouTube. He travels the world, makes investments, this kind of person, and he says, I love Malaysia. Like when he travels like everywhere in the world for business purposes mostly. When they ask him, what's your favorite place? He says Malaysia, because it's very different than Western mentality of, okay, what does a Malaysian person want? They want to have 3 good meals and they're happy. You know,
Yes.
maybe they're if they're super ambitious, they maybe want a motorbike when they're young, or
Yes.
like they want a Malay-made car. But that's it. Like they're not really expecting a lot from life,
Yeah.
which is a good thing, I think.
Yes.
To
Yes.
just slow down a little bit.
Yeah.
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 And do you think it's the same for Thai people in that regard?
For many, yes.
Yeah.
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 Yeah. I mean, Thailand is there are poor people and very rich people. There is almost no middle class at the moment. I think it's quite similar to Malaysia or all the Asian countries. But yeah, food is very important in Thailand. Really important. There is a nice picture with the clock where it shows every 3 hours, like 12 o'clock you eat. At 1 o'clock you think about the next food. At 2 o'clock you're already preparing the next food. At 3 o'clock you need food again. And so it's going around. So, yeah, it's the most important for them. Yeah. And nowadays, telephones, sadly.
Oh.
Everybody needs a smartphone. Or when I traveled here 20 years ago, it was people wanted food, a roof over the head, but nowadays is food and telephone.
Telephone. I can be on the street with my phone as long as I'm entertained somehow. So then it's the regular life is okay. Walk me through a regular Swiss life. Like what's the expectation from most people?
Oh, you need to marry, you need to have a cat, a dog, a car, a house. If you have a good job, you also need a boat or a house for holidays or whatever. I was never interested in that. Also in clothes with brands or something. No, I don't need to buy expensive stuff. I'm happy with basic stuff, and I rather go see more different places.
Yeah, experiences over stuff.
Yes.
That's a good little, thing to live by, I think. Because I'm the same way. Like I really don't mind what I'm wearing. It's more important where I am, who I'm with, who I'm sharing my food with.
Exactly.
These are a little bit more important, I think.
Yeah. Well, in Switzerland, as many people know how Switzerland is, it is beautiful, it is safe, it is actually very nice, but just not for me, because I think this pressure, not only in Switzerland, in many other countries as well, but I don't want to fit in a box. I want to be independent, and I want to do what I like, not what people think I should do.
Do you observe this a lot in the Western world, in a broader sense, maybe, like people living other people's lives, like
A
not
lot.
their yeah,
A lot,
Yeah.
yeah. Yeah. Sadly.
And do you think it's different around Asia?
I think it's different, yes, but also they also have this pressure from family. I mean, in some countries, women still cannot choose who they marry or what job they want to do.
Yeah.
But I think the new generation is more open-minded. But the older generation, Papa will tell my son, you need to be whatever later.
Right.
I think that's quite everywhere
Yeah,
in the world for some people.
Yeah, it is pretty global. You're right. But I suppose, like to refine my question a little bit more, the not just societal, but maybe like economic expectations is kind of. Well, no, actually, you're right. It's more global, right? Because if there's going to be some expectation from your parents or from your friends, it's going to be everywhere in the world.
Yes. Yes.
Like to go do a certain job, like we have you become a doctor or a lawyer or an engineer, like these are a little bit more, I think, countries who've went through periods where there were a lot of poverty, so the parents don't really want you to be poor, so this is the kind of like place they're pushing you towards.
Yes.
Out of like what's the best for my kid. But it's not always useful.
No, I had actually the same situation. I was 16 and I wanted to go to the French part in Switzerland to be an au pair, living with the family, take care of the children, do the household and everything. But my parents were pushing me to learn in the office for 3 years, which I really didn't like at this time, but they won. Nowadays I'm very happy
that you're
they
out of the office.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I learned basic stuff.
Yeah.
I had my apprenticeship, which we have in Switzerland, and everything. But in this time was very, very hard for me. But my parents always told me, if you finish this 3 years, then you will be free, then you can do whatever you want. You don't need to work on this. If you really want to decide to not work in an office, then you're free. But please, please do this 3 years. So you have your diploma, you have your safety ground.
And it was useful.
It was, Now if I look back, yes. In this time, I didn't understand.
So listen to your parents.
Yes.
Yeah. No, I mean, it's kind of it's a really case by case situation.
Yes.
Sometimes you really shouldn't listen to your parents, but other times most of the time maybe, let's say.
Yes.
More often than not.
Yes. I think also, when I was young, I was writing in a book, I will never do like my mom. And then I write what I didn't like, what she did.
Yeah.
And I can tell you today, 99% I'm the same, I do the same.
Yeah.
And I love it in a way.
So the more you don't want to do something, it's like you're actually going towards it more. That's funny. Yeah, I suppose in Turkish there's this proverb about how an apple tree, like an apple will fall down like really close to the tree. So like the fruit of the tree is it's not going to be all the way somewhere else. Like it's going to be around that same tree.
Yes.
So it kind of makes sense that we become our parents in a way.
Yes.
So many people in Turkey, they want to travel west always, Europe, Germany, like this part of the world. There's a few people that I've heard who've traveled to Asian part of the world or want to travel. What would you say for those people, like who are just they want to go to the European part of the world?
I would say go to Europe, take a look, feel it. If you're happy, stay there, of course. But also be open-minded to see different places, like the Asian part. Could be also Australia or even more out of in the sea or
Yeah.
America. But I think Europe is not, how can I say this, not the place to be.
Mm-hmm.
But I can understand that people living in Turkey, that they're more close to Europe, so
Yeah.
maybe they feel safer
Mm-hmm.
to go there. But I can tell you, if you would travel to different place, maybe you find other places which you like more.
Yeah. Just being open to different possibilities, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's important because going back to what people expect from you, I think there's an expectation of, oh, you're going to Europe and it's something to show off, you know.
Yeah.
Whereas over here, it's a little bit more, oh, you go there on vacation. You don't live here, like in Asia, I mean.
Yeah.
But like people perceive Europe and Turkey as this, I'm like on the higher level of life or some sort of thing like this.
Yes.
But we would argue, we were talking about how the outlook on life is different in Europe or like the Western world and the Eastern world. How is it different?
I think in Europe everything is organized. Everything is kind of safe. Everything is, you don't need to think a lot. There will always be someone or something which will help you. In Asia compared, you're more on your own in a way. But Asian people or Buddhist people, like here in Thailand, they are living more from day to day. They don't live in the past, they don't live in the future, they live right now. Which is still for me not always easy to live like this. But I really love this kind of lifestyle. Whatever will come, it will come. It will be fine. There will be a way. Also this trust that it will be okay, even you don't know how it will be and when it will be. But in Europe, or for me in Switzerland, everything is like in a box. It's like your life is already written on a book, kind of. But of course, it's more safe over there.
Yeah.
In terms of money, of everything, actually.
Right. It's super secure and sterile.
Yes.
But why do you think this is the case? It's the more I hear Asia has a more mature way of looking at life than like most of the Western counterparts.
Yes. I think because here humans count more. You are not only a number.
Oh, I see.
Comparing to Switzerland, example, if you work in a company, you are number something.
Mm-hmm.
But here you are more human. What you need is also very important.
Mm-hmm.
And
Yeah.
not only what you deliver for work or what you do or...
Sure.
Yes.
It's like you're less of a part of a machine and more of a like, organic system.
Yes.
Or organism, maybe.
Yeah.
Like in Asia. Yeah, that makes more sense. I think the corporate world in the West is just... Our whole life kind of depends on it right now.
Yes.
Like all the comforts that we enjoy. I see a lot of it, even on an island, you know, like we're on an island in Thailand, which is on the south, and you see 7-Elevens everywhere.
Yes.
And there's quite a bit of people, even Thai people, who shop from these places.
Yeah.
But at least it's not dependent. Like the whole livelihood is not dependent on these shops.
No.
But
No.
yeah. There's so many places in the West that their whole life is
Yes.
depending on the shops,
Yeah.
though.
Yeah. I think especially here, when small kids grow up, they need to do so many things by themselves already. Which, in comparing to Switzerland, the parents will do for you. The parents will stay next to you. Parents will organize for you. Yeah, because the lifestyle is kind of set up for you. Like the red carpet is already rolled out. Here is more freestyle. We go left, we go right, maybe we go backwards, but it's not a problem. Maybe tomorrow we can go forward. So yeah, it's more free.
Yeah. It's less determined.
Yes.
Yeah.
But they don't have the same security as we have in Europe. So it's depends what you like more or what you need.
Sure. It's again, it's a case by case
Yes.
situation.
And also, I mean, also in Thailand, example, there are many people who are super rich and also safe and secure.
Sure. There's a
It's
way
not-
to achieve that.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think with the with phones, there's a lot of negative, but there's also the positive of, okay, wherever you go, you can run your business. Wherever you go, you can there's equal chance for everybody, actually.
Yes. And also, like people here in Asia, they learn a lot through the telephones and or laptop or whatever, which before they had no, they couldn't learn stuff
Right.
like they can learn now. Here they go to school, but they learn only certain things.
Right.
But to see the world, to see, there is something very different somewhere. So this is the positive side, I think, also.
Mostly distraction. I see a lot of people just being distracted with their phones.
Yeah.
But there's the 10% always who's like
Yes.
super curious, like, oh, I should research this, I should look at that.
Yeah.
The fascinating bits. So, how long has it been since you started Enda here in Lanta?
We started building 5 years ago, 2018. We started actually in August, September, yeah? 5 years.
September, 5 years ago.
We started building, then we built it almost 1 year, and then we opened in 2019. Official opening was in October, and January 2020, COVID hit. Yes.
That was
but we
a
are
ride.
still here.
Yeah, we're here. Yeah. Like, open for booking.
Yes.
And just before I forget, I have to let you remind me the story behind Enda, because there was someone here before you guys came.
Madam Enda.
Mother Enda.
Madam Enda is our lovely cat, which is maybe around 10 years old now. So when we rented the land, it was jungle, high grass.
Yes.
I could actually, from the street, where you enter the land, we could walk maybe 20 meters inside.
Wow.
And then the landlord would say, over there, the land is finished.
Uh-huh.
There was nothing around. So, and Madame Enda was already here.
The mayor.
Yes. And then when we start building, she was super happy because all the builders were giving her cuddles and food, and so she's still here, and she's our big boss.
Yeah, she is the big boss. Always keeping tidy, keeping clean, making sure everything's running smoothly.
Yes.
Awesome. And another question I had was, so how did the pandemic affect the life here in Lanta in general? And then maybe you can go in specifics for business.
In general, on Lanta,
It's an island, you know?
It's an island, yes. They blocked the villages here on the island, so we are living in village 2, so were not allowed to go to village 1 or 3 or whatever. For about 1 month. Everything was closed.
Yeah.
We could buy food all the time. But example, no Western food or stuff they would not deliver here, so just basic. We were not allowed to go to the beach, which was really, really sad, because actually being in the fresh air and outside, and we had 2 meter distance from people to people. I still think today I could not give COVID to someone if I would have it.
Yeah.
But yeah, we had police control on the streets.
Wow. Even over here, so that's super serious.
Yeah.
That's crazy, actually,
I
because
mean-
I only thought it was in the cities. I thought it was okay. The first few days I was like, okay, this is serious. But the next few days I was like, oh, this is a little overkill. Like then I was like, it's a flu. Like at the end of the day, it's a flu.
Yes.
Like this is a little too much for a flu.
But I think because we are here, we are also near to China, and the outbreak,
Sure.
like they say, was in China. And Asian people in general, even before COVID, they are so kind that if someone is sick,
Yeah.
we protect with the mask and everything to not give this sickness to another people.
In Japan especially. They're
Yeah,
super
so even
careful.
before COVID, when I was sick here on the island, I would always get from my doctor medicine and a mask. So it's kind of normal.
Right.
And you stay home because you don't want to be the bad person who give the bad thing to someone else, which I really enjoyed to see and feel how the people are kind to each other to not bring the disease to the next people. There was never ever the communication, the discussion about wearing a mask or not. It's just normal.
Yeah. It's you could do it. Like it's fine. It's not something that's a very high ask. Like please wear this mask. Like no, it's
No,
fine.
it's
Yeah.
just normal.
Yeah.
It's really normal here.
Yeah. I see.
But it was very, how you say in English? It was very scared because we didn't know
Yeah.
will the ferry be running, if I need to go to the mainland, if I need to go to the hospital, how all this will working.
Yeah.
Because living on this island, but actually after a few days you realized we have food, we have a roof over our head. I was not allowed to drive motorbike as well.
Oh.
As a Western people, only Thai people
Wow.
were allowed to go outside. But I was allowed to walk, and I was allowed to walk on the beach. So
Hey, I would exchange that. Yeah.
yeah, as soon as I realized, okay, I can go see the sunset every night, I can be outside and I'm kind of free, it was okay for me.
Well,
But I mean, my family back home, they were more scared because they didn't know how it is really here on an island.
I was scared
But
for you.
Scared for me,
Yeah,
yes. Yeah. But actually, it was a nice month to take a rest in a way.
Yeah, right? No, I mean, I think the more crowded the cities are, the more panic.
Yes.
Because it's like, oh, it's spreading, oh, we're all going to die. And there was a lot of concern around the elderly.
Yes. Yeah, here too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which is normal.
I think here the biggest concern was, will ever people coming back to this island? Because I would say, I really not sure, but I would say 80%. We need the tourism.
Yes.
We need the money that people bring it to live our life. So that was the biggest concern. To not see the end of the tunnel. Especially in the beginning, we didn't know what else will come.
Is this
you
the
know?
new normal?
Is this the new normal? Do we need to give up the business working with tourism or not? Stuff like that.
Yeah. Big
And
challenges.
it was hitting in high season.
I
So
see.
the island was actually packed and fully booked. And then January it started, February, March, and then April the lockdown came here. But
And
for the local people it was very tough, because there was almost no help from government the whole 2 years. So
And when was the end of the tunnel? Like how many months later were they like, oh, okay, like we're not gonna starve?
actually I would say really 2 years later.
Whoa.
I would say around Yeah, because Thailand only opened last October without quarantine, without restrictions and everything.
True, because you all need to have vaccination and
2 weeks
proof.
quarantine
Yeah.
and this and this and that.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I would say 1.5 year we didn't see the end of the tunnel and everybody was scared. Many people give up or had to give up also. I mean, Western people, local people, they went back to their home on the mainland, back to the family. A lot was closed, so happy
it's
where
just
we are
recently
now.
we're actually getting back, right? Wow.
Yeah.
Damn, okay.
And we did a lot of donations, food donations, money donations. I made a big project with Switzerland, with Swiss people, sending money here to help the people because they have no salary, they have no help from government.
Yeah. You write the article about this as well, right?
Yes, a friend of mine made an interview for a newspaper in Switzerland also, yeah.
Nice. Yeah, I think there's more places like this on planet Earth that needs attention and care, really. I mean, there's a surplus in the West world, like people were kind of fighting over toilet paper in America, like where people didn't have food over here.
Yes.
It's a very stark contrast, actually. It's all about being thankful for what you have.
Yes.
And sort of, being so thankful that, just sharing is the only option.
Yes.
At some point.
Yeah. I mean, for everybody in the world, if you need to step back or you lose something or you cannot get what you want, for everybody is hard.
Yeah.
But then it depends. Is it hard for someone in Europe who has no toilet paper? Is it really hard for these people? Yes, it is hard for these people.
Right.
But if we see stories like this from here, and I know my neighbors, they don't have food, they cannot pay electricity, no money for gasoline, nothing. Then comparing to the toilet paper, it becomes ridiculous. But you need to see
From
their perspective.
Yeah, everyone has a different kind of tolerance for...
Yes, and everybody lost something in COVID.
Sure.
Everybody, or many people also gained something, but in fact we all lost something.
Yeah.
And it's not easy for people to step back
True.
wherever they are, in whatever situation they are.
True.
But listening to people complaining, we need to put a mask in Europe or whatever, or we don't have toilet paper, for us was quite, wow, that's a luxury problem.
Yeah, first world.
Yes, yes.
First world problems. Okay, I want to ask this one more thing and be conscious of your standing up because you need to lie down a little bit. Let's go back to high school. And I know one of your favorite songs, Listen to Your Heart by Roxette.
Yes.
So tell me more about the music scene around that time.
When I was a teenager. Actually...
Because I can only think about like Scorpions, like around late 80s. Who else was there? There was Queen, maybe like more America, Depeche Mode.
Actually, since I'm 10 years old, I'm listening mostly or mainly to reggae.
Oh, okay.
So actually Bob Marley and all, Bob Marley is the famous one, but yeah, I'm a really reggae girl. But back to this song, Listen to My Heart from Roxette, I don't remember in what situation I was. Could be that I was sad, maybe I was in love with the boy, but he didn't love me or something. Okay. Really don't remember, but it became my favorite song when I was cleaning, when I was angry, when I was disappointed. This song would make me smile again in a way. Okay. I don't remember
Like how it got on.
No,
Okay.
no.
But you know, like there's positive connotation. It makes you feel positive
Yes.
when you're like not feeling
Yeah,
the best.
and I can sing very loud with this song. Even I cannot sing properly, but this song I can go wow.
Nice, nice. That's really cool. So you wouldn't say the same for reggae stuff?
No, with reggae I cannot sing like
No.
from my stomach
Yeah.
out. But yeah, reggae is just something touches me.
Mm-hmm. And when was the first time you listened to reggae? Do you remember?
Reggae, I think around 10.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
So you were talking about mom listening to a lot of like AC/DC, and so was she also like very wide in her choice? Like she listened to reggae as well. Did you hear it at home?
She was working for the biggest company who organized concerts in Switzerland in the office. So she was always with music. She was recently here on Ko Lanta, so I took her to a reggae bar. She is okay with reggae, but it's not touching her like same like me.
I see.
She's more the hard rock, the AC/DC.
Intense.
Yeah.
Nice.
I'm not.
Yeah.
Same with my boyfriend. He's the punk rock. The harder, the better. The screamier, the better. It makes me, oh, no.
Yeah. Sabay.
Survive. Yeah. The whole island is kind of a family. Just more people and everything is more fast. Check in, check out, tac, changes. But the vibe from Koh Lanta is still.
Yeah.
We are Koh Lanta. There is also a group called We Are Koh Lanta.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
It's on Facebook, right?
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
I love it. The community is just, very genuine.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
Okay, switching gears a bit. This is the part where sharing your experience is kind of required from you. So, in the last 5 years, so since you've started this venture, what new behaviors, habits, or beliefs have improved your life the most?
Oh,
Yeah.
to be calm.
Mm.
I'm very a hot person.
Mm-hmm. Hot blood, hot temper.
Yes, by nature. I learned most from my boyfriend. To be calm, to chayen, how the Thai people say.
Chayen.
Not easy, I can tell you.
I bet.
Doesn't done in 1 month.
Yeah.
Not even after 5 years, I'm not where I want to be, but I made a big jump.
I bet.
Yeah, this is the part which I'm the most proud of myself, because I could never believe that I can change this big. To be calm, to have more this Thai attitude. They call it mai pen rai, never mind, it will be okay. Comparing to Switzerland, where actually 8 o'clock is 8 o'clock, not 2 seconds later. You have to be like this, you have to do this, you know. And here I also learned a lot about myself, which in Switzerland there is no time, or the setting is not the same as here, that I can take the time to change myself. But yeah, the biggest is to be calm.
To be calm, right? Yeah. Yeah, I think that's if more people would adapt this into their lives, it would be a little bit more easier to live, I think,
Yes.
worldwide.
Yes.
With everybody, because everything's gonna happen eventually. And something I like to remind myself on the daily is it's less about what happens to you, but it's how you react to that.
Exactly.
And just remembering that, keeping that in perspective is kind of helpful to have less stress.
Yes.
And stress is, I was just reading a couple days ago, the cortisol levels that you have when you wake up is the biggest determining factor of how old you look.
Mm-hmm.
So the more stress you have in the morning, your base level cortisol levels is going to determine how old you look. So if you want to look younger.
Yes.
Sub by
and
sub by.
feel younger.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Maybe, or one of my last questions, I could ask you to have maybe one book or 2 books, 3 books that have greatly influenced your life.
Since I'm here or in general?
In general.
In general, there is one about a dolphin. I cannot tell you the title. How is it called? But it's a story about a dolphin who is looking for his freedom in the ocean, finding his place, his friends, his food, his everything, and it's beautiful written. And but actually is. You can learn a lot for you from this book.
Wow.
That's why I also have a dolphin tattoo.
Ah, that's where it comes
yes.
from. Okay, wow.
I don't remember the title.
Was it
I was reading
West literature?
Yeah,
West literature.
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
European?
Yeah,
Did you read it in German or French?
I read it in German.
Okay.
Could also be a Swiss book. I'm not sure.
Okay.
I was reading it the first time when I was a teenager.
Mm-hmm.
And still, it's a very small book.
Those are the best ones.
Yeah, they teach you a lot if you can read between the lines also,
Yes.
or get the feeling from what
Yes.
they tell you. I mean, the story is about this dolphin, but actually it's about how you react in your
Sure.
life, your habits, stuff like that.
Sure.
This one, another one, for sure, about Buddhism. What I really learned, the way how Buddhism is taught in Europe or in Switzerland, in the books, in the theory, is not the same as here. And of course, since I'm living here, I understand it also in a different way. But I have one book about Buddhism which is actually just explaining what is Buddhism and how to do it, which helped me also a lot. And number 3,
Hey.
I don't know.
That's the book of life.
Yeah, that will be my book.
Yeah, that's your book.
I
yeah.
started to write my book because
No
this-
way.
Yeah.
Really?
It's also a dream from me since I'm very, very young. And
I would
just
gladly
2
read
weeks ago, I cannot tell you, but
Uh-huh.
2 weeks ago, before I went to sleep, it just came up. The title came up
Okay.
out of the blue. So, and then I started. But this is another project for.
That's awesome.
So,
That's
yeah.
nice. So it's going to be about, maybe you give us a little teaser.
There will be a lot of short stories from my life, but those short stories should be like to show as an example what I want to tell people. But it's about people, how they react, how
I think stories is the best way. That's why a lot of these, books that are still, talked about, like the sacred books and stuff, they're generally just stories. Like the Bible, it's just stories, and you take the morals out of the story.
The morals,
Yeah.
that was the word I was looking for.
Oh, there you go. Okay.
Yeah. So maybe I can give you a small example how I learned to be more calm in Thailand. As an example, when we bought the motorbike for my boyfriend's son in the shop, she was not focused, the seller, and she told one time this, one time something else, and I just freaked it out.
No.
Because I'm from Switzerland, bam, bam,
Come
bam,
on, it's
everything
supposed to
in
work.
order, everything has to be like this,
Uh-huh.
and I just freaked it out.
Mm-hmm.
This lady made me crazy,
Yeah.
and my boyfriend was sitting next to me and say, she will not sell you a motorbike if you do like this.
Yeah.
So this lady just walked away.
He was like, good luck finding a motorbike now.
I was sitting there like, okay, but I still want to buy a motorbike. But she was actually really not interested. Until I stepped back later in the evening and, okay, da. So,
Did you
will
get
be
it from the
some
same one? Did you get it from the same lady at the end?
Yes.
Yeah?
But not that day.
Put some time in between so
Yes.
she forgets.
Yeah. So yeah, will be some stories like this.
Nice.
And then the chapter will be calm or learn to be calm, and then some stories from my life. And
Beautiful.
I think my life is, I can tell a lot of stories.
I think so too. I mean, I'm drawn to you, just like asking a bunch of questions. So just to segue into this last question, so any tips for our audience you found useful on your journey in life? We can keep it super general, or maybe I can, give you the audience, like particularly younger folks who are like up and coming. Like what advice would you give about the real world, or what advice do you think they should avoid?
In general, or when they come here to Thailand, or just for general life?
Just, I mean, there's a point in our life where we go into the real world, like for you it was like, okay, like I get the ticket and like I travel, or maybe before that you start working somewhere, something like this.
Follow your dreams. And I have a sentence in German, let me see if I can get it in English, which is my slogan for me personally.
Well, say it in German first.
If you don't find your way, build your own way.
Oof.
Something like this.
That's a good one.
This phrase in German I used for all my jobs when I applied for jobs. But actually that's me.
Yeah.
It's my character. If someone tell me no, it's not possible, first of all I don't believe it. So I find if there is a way.
Yeah.
So this I would tell to young people: don't follow only the mainstream. Open up. If someone tell you no, it's not possible, step back. Ask yourself: is it really not possible, or will there be somewhere a way to, in the end, fulfill your dream or your needs or what you want? There is almost no limitation, but people will limit you sometimes. So break this wall and go your way.
Absolutely. Couldn't agree more. Really. Because when you say limits, it's like people, you say, that's not possible, we can't do it. It's just a comment from how they're viewing their life and what their limits are. They're like, I'm limited here, so you shouldn't be having no limits either.
Yeah.
So not listening to that.
Yeah.
And like you said, what was the German phrase? I like it.
In German, falls du keinen Weg findest, baue dir selbst. I cannot tell you now.
Okay, so if
there is no way, falls es keinen Weg gibt, baue dir selber einen. It's not grammatically correct now. I mixed.
We got the gist, though.
Yeah.
We got the gist.
So this is one thing. The other big thing I would tell young people: be kind to other peoples and animals and to the nature.
Yeah.
Something I think we forget when we are stuck too much on the telephone or under pressure in your daily life. Never forget, actually you are not alone in this world. Even you're born alone and you will go alone, but on your way you will meet people, animals, and you stay in nature. So do good with them. They will do good back to you.
Music. That's good words to live by. Dani, thank you so much.
Thank you
very much. I really appreciate your time and energy. And nice. Alrighty. Take care, folks.